The best Larry Bird versus Michael Jordan story ever told. Let's get it. I appreciate you guys rocking with me, man. This was a heavily requested video, so we're gonna be checking this out. Do me a couple of favors before we jump into it. Like the video. By liking the video, the way YouTube algorithm works, YouTube will push the video out to more people. You'll be directly helping me to grow. And also subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get the hundreds of thousands of subscribers. We're trying to do great things. I can't do it without you. So join the fam. We're gonna do great things together, and I'd appreciate that if everybody that watched the video subscribe to the channel. We'd be at hundreds of thousands of subscribers ASAP. Let's be consistent and let's see how far we can take it. But with that being said, let's jump into it. Let's get it.
NBA Hall of Famer James Worthy, who played against both Michael Jordan and Larry Bird, said, "I'd much rather play against Michael Jordan than Larry Bird. Jordan made you look slow, but Bird made you look stupid. Look,
Okay.
I'm not here to convince you that Larry Bird is better than Michael Jordan. I'll just present to you the facts and let the NBA legends who actually played against both of them tell you what they think."
People always ask me who's the hardest player I've ever had to guard. And there was Michael Jordan, George Gervin, the late, great Mike Mitchell. I mean, so many players. I always say Larry Bird. And I say this for the reason because when Michael passed the basketball, he kind of hung on his shorts and he sit off to the side. With Larry, when he passed the basketball is when he became more dangerous. He was either setting a pick, coming off a pick, catching the ball, passing the ball. So he was the one you always had to stay attentive to.
His nose
24 seconds of that offensive play for the Celtics. And you know what?
That's really true.
Rebound. He was going to do something to help his team have the best chance of scoring at that point. So I always say as him, he didn't need the basketball to affect the game.
I like that take.
To the untrained
I like that take. That was a very good take.
Michael Jordan was light years better than Larry Bird simply because his scoring numbers were better. But in actuality, it was much closer than that because Bird affected the game in so many ways.
I saw Larry Bird one night in Phoenix. They were losing big time at the half. And they come out in the third quarter, and Larry did not take a shot, but dominated the game. He had 7 assists in the third quarter, and they came back and won the game. He could affect the game without taking a shot. Who else can you say that about to that degree? Nobody. Michael could never do that. Never. Michael had to have the ball.
Here's a 1986 magazine
that's
of the
kind of
NBA.
true. I honestly
And
feel
remember,
it.
this is a league with Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Charles Barkley, Isaiah Thomas, Hakeem Olajuwon, Moses Malone, and Dr. J.
Ooh,
And in a league
that's some big names.
with all of these all-time great players, everyone agreed that Larry Bird was the best. Because in 1984, 1985, and 1986, Larry Bird won MVP back to back to back. And in the 1986 playoffs,
Best player in the world
finally faced Michael Jordan head to head. And in game 1, Michael dropped a spectacular 49 points. But Larry Bird had an all-around game with 30 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds, and 3 steals to lead the Celtics to a victory by game.
Let me say this real quick before I'll jump right back into it. To be completely honest, that's one of the things that will be a great debate forever because honestly, Michael Jordan, with the way he impacted the game with his scoring, like you can't match that. But being able to impact the game in more ways, I feel like will always be more valuable than impacting the game substantially in one way. So being able to rebound, block, steals, like the first guy said, when he passed the ball, he doesn't just sit off to the side and let the play happen. He's setting screens for other players to get open, back doors, getting rebounds, helping out, cutting in off of screens, just impacting the game in many different ways. That's kind of a thing that makes a player better. The intangibles, the little things. Now, that's one of the things that I focused on when I played the game, but that's one of the things that makes you the better basketball player than the guy next to you. How many different ways can you impact the team? Like, some people can impact the team in very strong ways, like shooting and maybe playing like some good defense, but the player that can impact the team in 5, 6, 7 different ways, doing all the hustle plays, getting the rebound, boxing out, setting off ball screens for other people to get open. It makes you a little bit more valuable, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, though. But to be completely honest, I think that's logical. And like that, if you have a high basketball IQ, in my opinion, that's the way I would also think too. Bird could be a little better because he impacted the game in so many more ways. Like the game they talked about just now that they played. Yeah, Jordan gave him 49 points, but you could still lose only giving 49 points when Bird's giving dang near a triple double. You know, the impact on the game. Scoring impacts the game a lot, but also those other things are a part of the game too. And if you're good at those things, it gives you a leg and a step up over the next player. Let's jump back into it though.
2, MJ had a revelation.
And this is game 2 of the best of 5 first-round action, and the Celtics will try to make it 2 in a row.
Playoff basketball.
We really have to play a complete basketball game. I don't think one man can beat the Boston Celtics.
But he sure did try.
He tried by himself.
Turned on God mode and broke the record for the most points ever scored in a playoff game.
What?
First half of the game against the Celtics Thursday. Jordan trying to fake Bird, can't do it. Hits the jumper, but I think Bird played pretty well defensively against Jordan.
I know we started
was
Dennis
shot out
Johnson
there.
out on him, and then we went with Danny Ainge, myself, with then Bill Walton, and we was trying to run him to help all the time, but he had his outside shot going so well that he really didn't need to penetrate that much.
Jordan hits it, 56 to
hot.
Jordan, and that ties the
56.
Chicago Bulls all-time leader. Jordan with 8 on the clock. Jordan ties the game.
Oh, boy.
63 points, and
Oh,
you're
my
looking at an
goodness.
all-time record.
63, he was going at him.
But it was an incredible playoff performance.
What
I'd
can you
never
do
seen
about
it
that?
before, and I had never seen it after. That wasn't Michael Jordan out there. It was God disguised as Michael Jordan.
But
It might have
Larry
been.
Bird
It might have
left
been. He was
the
eating.
most important statistic of all, the W.
10 on the clock.
Wait.
Bird, pick and roll parry.
So he got 63 points and didn't win the game?
Victory for the Boston Celtics to take a 2-0 lead over Chicago in their best of 5.
What?
Michael Jordan didn't beat Larry
That's
Bird.
crazy to take the L after giving that many points.
Times in the highlights, against Larry Bird, and that was the game he got 63.
That's when he dropped 63 on Bird. Yes.
But if memory serves me correct, they got swept. No, not
they lost that game.
They got swept. Okay.
A sweep is a little different.
Even though he
All
dropped
right, I'll take it.
63, we stepped all in his ass, did we not? I rest my case.
Whoa,
Larry Bird went on to
pause
win his
me, fella.
third championship
Dang.
that year. And the following year, when Larry faced MJ in the playoffs, it happened again.
Side. Larry Bird against Banks, rubs him around a Perry screen, drives it down the lane, and lays it in with a right hand.
Michael Jordan with 30
points in this game, so he was 30 or better in all 3 playoff games. Bird's got 31 in the game
He
and
giving
14 in
y'all
the
30
fourth quarter.
a game and still losing. That hurts.
Boston has kept
But
it in good hands in the fourth
Boston
quarter.
definitely
It's been
had a
Bird
better
and
squad.
that's about it. Final score in Chicago Stadium. The Boston Celtics sweep the Bulls out 105-94.
Oh, they sweeping them. They couldn't
Too
mess with
much
that
Celtic
Boston squad.
talent.
Another
Too
sweep.
much Celtic experience for a Bulls team lacking in both areas.
Yes, Larry Bird in back-to-back years swept Michael Jordan in the playoffs. So if Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time, but Michael Jordan never beat Larry Bird, then what does that make Larry Bird? Now, to be fair, at that point, Michael Jordan didn't have his best teammate ever, Scottie Pippen, yet. When Scottie Pippen arrived, the battles
so
were
that
closer
wasn't-
and more intense.
That was before
And
they
later
got
in the
Pippen.
video, I'll
Got
let
it.
you see exactly what happened when Larry Bird faced a prime Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. Because
That
Larry
changed
Bird
everything,
did
huh?
something so miraculously
That
impressive.
changed a lot.
No other man in the history of basketball can say they've done. But after Bird swept Jordan back-to-back years in the playoffs, that very next year in 1988, Michael Jordan had statistically the best season ever, where he won the scoring title at 35 points per game, the steals title,
35.
the MVP, the Defensive Player of the Year, the All-Star Game MVP, and the dunk contest.
Dang!
He faced Larry Bird 4 times that year.
Woo!
And this is how it went. Game 1, tough battle. Bird wins.
Celtics pulled it off game 1.
MJ has a historic 50-point game to win by 10. Game 3, Larry's revenge. After that previous loss, I'm sure Larry Bird had that rematch circled on his calendar because he ended up with 33, 8, and 7 and blew MJ out by 30
He almost
points.
had a triple-double.
Game 4,
and they won by 30.
MJ had an impressive performance with 39 points and 8 assists, but Larry Legend had 44 points and 10
He
rebounds.
outplayed him
but
that
most
game.
importantly, a win versus Michael Jordan in his
A win and outplayed
statistically
him.
best season ever.
So they won 3-1 that
Jordan
year.
Didn't face Bird
Dang.
again that year in the playoffs. Jordan did face Isaiah Thomas and the Detroit Pistons. And I'll let Isaiah Thomas tell you exactly how he recalls that year and the rest of the 80s.
Oh, they didn't face
Michael
off in the
Jordan
playoffs
in the
that year.
80s, the best year that
Okay.
he had was he was the MVP of the league and the Defensive Player of the Year. I believe that was in '88.
Yes.
We
88.
beat
That was a
them
crazy year.
We beat them 4-1. I'm gonna say that again. 4-1. They won one
May I
game.
respond?
Stephen A.
Mm.
And he never beat Larry Bird. He
Y'all
never
was
beat
beating that
Magic
man up.
and Kareem. He never won. And all I'm saying is in the 80s, what I remember in the 80s, it was Philadelphia with Dr. J, Magic, Kareem, Bert, Michael Jordan. He was a non-factor.
A
A non-factor is crazy.
Is this your GOAT? But after Isaiah Thomas
I feel like he was
swept
just
MJ,
talking.
he did go on to beat
Non-factor
Larry
after
Bird
winning
in
all
6
that?
games.
Sound crazy.
And many people touted the Detroit defense for holding Larry Bird to under 20 points per game. But what many don't include in that story is that Larry...
Look, I'll say this, guys, before we get too far into it. To say MJ was a non-factor at that point, now that's a little bit disrespectful. If he won at each one of those things, all dang near everything you could win as a top player in the league that year, he couldn't have been a non-factor. Now, I'll give him that the team defense y'all was putting on him, because the Pistons was known for their team defense, the bad boy Pistons. I'll give him that. The team defense y'all was putting on him stopped him and made him a non-factor in possibly that round of the playoffs. But as far as to say he was a non-factor in the 80s period, how can you even say that? Like, it doesn't make logical sense to me to say that he was a non-factor when he won MVP, the scoring title, Defensive Player of the Year, dunk contest. That doesn't sound like a non-factor to me. That's why I feel like that was just a little bit of trash talk from him, and they did beat him 4-1, so he was a non-factor in that series. But even I'll go even far as to say they was just being overly aggressive, and they were calling some of the fouls, and we know that the whole game plan was to beat him up. Like, it's not like y'all could have played straight up basketball and just guard him one-on-one and stopped him. That would have made him a non-factor, but y'all had to play multiple players on him and foul the bejeebies out of him to stop him. So, like, I mean, that's just a little overly excessive trash talk from Isaiah Thomas. Now, if the 2 years that Bird swept him, Bird would have said that, I would have respected him saying that was a non-factor. But coming from Isaiah Thomas like that, I feel y'all beat him 4-1. But saying he was a non-factor, y'all had to do a lot to stop him. You can't tell me y'all didn't have to do a lot to stop that man in that series, even if y'all won. Now, his team wasn't up to par. So I could understand why you call him a non-factor, because y'all did sweep him, but that's not true in the grand scheme of things. That's just kind of, I feel like that was a little bit too much. Let's jump back into it.
Bird was noticeably injured with painful bone spurs in both feet. So only because of injuries, for the first time in 5 seasons, Larry Bird would not make the NBA Finals. Starting the following
first
year,
time in 5
Larry
seasons?
Bird had season-ending surgery on both feet after playing only 6 games. But sadly, it only got worse, because that following offseason, Larry Bird broke his back and was never the same again. But even as Larry Bird's entire body betrayed him, for some reason, he always played well against Michael Jordan. Almost like he had a personal vendetta against Jordan. And I think I know why.
He played better
when
against
Michael
better
Jordan
competition.
Was in college, he actually played an exhibition game against Larry Bird. Jordan and a bunch of college players, while preparing for the 1984 Olympics, faced Larry Bird and a bunch of NBA stars. The goal was to toughen the college kids up before they headed to the Olympics. So during pre-game warm-ups, when Jordan chased the loose ball to the other end of the court, Larry Bird picked the ball up. But instead of handing it to Jordan, Bird kicked the ball over Jordan's head to the opposite end of the court.
And
I guess you could say Michael Jordan took that personally.
Now look at Mossy. Really? Oh, so that's how you're going to play it. You going to do this? Okay, fine. That's all I needed. That's all I needed.
I took it personal too.
It became personal with me.
Michael Jordan dominated that game. A young Michael Jordan actually carried a team full of college players past a prime Larry Bird and a bunch of NBA players.
Ooh, we made him turn it on.
Michael Jordan won the battle, but Larry Bird won the war. I think Larry Bird took that loss personally because Jordan never really got the best of Larry Bird ever again. When Larry Bird finally returned to the court after missing basically an entire season with foot surgery and a back injury, he faced prime Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen in a regular season game. The teams went back and forth.
Bagley against Paxson, 10 on the shot clock. Jordan on Bird. Quick feed into Jim Paxson.
Good pass.
Larry Bird has KO'd the read. Jordan the steal. Scottie Pippen ahead to Jordan. Michael for the dunk. Bird against Pippen. Bird working on Pippen one-on-one.
On Pippen. On Pippen.
With 10 seconds to go, it was a tie game. The Celtics had the ball, and the Bulls put their two best defenders, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, both on Larry Bird because everyone knows who the ball is going to.
They put them both on Larry Bird.
Let's see if they wind it all the way down. Inside of 10 seconds. Bird low. You can't double yet. Now you can quickly. Bird's jumper. Good. 3.6 seconds.
Two best defenders. It don't matter.
The Boston Celtics a 2-point lead.
Everybody in this building had to know it was going to Michael came.
It was a great contest, just a better shot. Dang.
102 to 100.
Clutch.
Game-winning shot while being double teamed by both Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen.
And
two of the best defenders of all time.
That's crazy.
Somehow the word clutch doesn't even begin to describe the greatness of Larry Bird when the game was on the line. But maybe a quote from NBA Hall of Fame coach, executive, and former player Pat Riley can explain. In an interview, when comparing Larry Bird and Michael Jordan's clutchness, Pat Riley said this iconic quote, "If I had to choose a player to take a shot to save a game, I'd choose Michael Jordan. If I had to choose a player to take a shot to save my life, I'd take Larry Bird."
My life?
As Larry Bird was on his last legs and Michael Jordan was starting his dynasty in 1991, Larry Bird mustered up enough strength to battle MJ again in one of the last great duels between the two.
Right at the end. It was coming up to the end of his career. But he's still better believe it. Better believe it.
Chicago 67. Jordan eluding a triple team.
Ooh, the midi is crazy. Midi committee.
Larry Bird.
Bird up there stacking a board.
This battle between two all-time greats came down to the wire. In overtime, it was a tie game with 0.4 seconds on the clock, and the Chicago Bulls
Bird was outplaying him a little bit.
Pippen now will look to throw in. 0.4 of a second. And here it is, Jordan with the play. Yes!
Ooh.
But it's waved off. Will not count.
It's waved off.
Mike Mathis said no.
a crazy shot.
Ooh, he almost had it. After Jordan's possible game winner was waved off, Larry Bird, on 4 straight possessions in double overtime, did this.
Jordan. It's great to hear all these coaches talk about they're really concerned as Bird.
All net. Y'all done messed up letting him make it to overtime. Y'all should have took the win.
Overtime number 2. Bird, yes.
Just shooting over people. It's over now. He done turned on the clutch switch. He done turned it on.
Bird with the fake through the foul and hits.
And what? Let's go. That boy Bird.
45 to go in the second overtime. Bird fires. Yes.
He's torching this man with the glasses.
The crowd couldn't help but chant the name of the greatest player of all time.
Shook his head and said, "This guy's too much." And the chant of Larry.
They chant his name. Nah, he done took over the game.
The second overtime, and that will do it.
Ain't much you could do when Bird hooping like that, I ain't gonna lie. He was turned up on you at the end. Overtime was his time.
Boston Celtics in double overtime and defeated the Chicago Bulls 135 to 132 in a wild one.
The Celtics held on to win that game, but that year, Michael Jordan won his first championship versus Magic Johnson in the finals, and his dynasty had officially begun.
Larry and I were talking, and Michael walks in, and he says, "It's a new sheriff in town."
It's the new sheriff in town.
And we both hit each other like, well, he's not lying.
His time has come. After that next season, but not before he took the court with Michael Jordan one last time. Except this time, it would be on the same team in what many would call the greatest team ever assembled, the 1992 Dream Team.
Dream Team?
And rebounded by Jordan.
Perez may have realized that may be his best opportunity to get an open look in transition.
Magic with the pass that misfired. Jordan with the behind the back.
Oh my goodness.
Here's Bird. Yes.
Bird. Oh, what a save. What a shot.
And you just knew that Larry Bird was not going to miss that shot after the great save by Michael Jordan.
Missed that? No way.
I hate that you're retiring. Thank goodness. I'm glad. I'm tired of seeing your face. For a lot of sad memories to me, but I enjoyed it.
Right. Thank goodness.
I wish you a lot of luck, and I think you had a very wonderful career, even though you probably ruined a lot of my successful games against the Boston Celtics.
Absolutely ruined a lot of his games against the Boston Celtics.
I'll see you somewhere along the road, somewhere playing golf.
Even though he dropped 63, we stepped all in his ass, did we not? I rest my case.
hey, my man. That's the end of the video, guys. Well, definitely a great story. And I'll be completely honest, when it came up to going against Bird, he definitely had a lot of trouble. And they talk about how he went 6-0 in the finals, but one thing they don't speak on a lot is how he lost those 2 sweeps to Bird earlier in the playoffs. Yeah, he was undefeated in the finals, but playing Bird early in the playoffs, he took 2 sweeps, and that's a big deal. When it came down to Bird got the edge on him every time they met up. Now it's more so about the team, but at the end of the day, you weren't able to lift your team over his team, and that's what really matters. Who got the dub? So when we talk about that matchup, yes, Bird definitely got the best of MJ. I see why y'all wanted me to watch this video. Now, when it comes out to the GOAT debate, he's definitely top 5. He's definitely top 5, and I know he's top 1 on some of y'all lists. We're gonna be looking at a lot more stories. We're gonna be looking at a lot more things. I'm not gonna hate on him at all. There's no way he shouldn't be in somebody's top 10. I'm just gonna throw it out there. If he's not in your top 10, I think you're just a little confused about what's going on in your basketball knowledge. Need some research, because at the end of the day, you can't name me top 10 players that were better than him in that 13 seasons he gave us. And if we had any more than that 13 seasons, there would be no question that he was like possibly the number 1 GOAT. If it wasn't for those injuries, there would be no question that he would probably be number 1 on everyone's list. But that was the only thing. The injuries kind of slowed and derailed everything we possibly was going to get from him. But at the end of the day, he still has, in that 13 season run, a comparable season to the top season, like to the Jordan 13 season. You compare them, you could actually have that GOAT conversation with those two people. Even though 13 seasons, you can give his 13 seasons against LeBron 27 seasons, and you can still question whether he was better or not. And that's a feat in itself with such a small sample size. But definitely a great player, definitely sensational, and a great video. It was impressive to not only see what he did to Jordan, but also see what Jordan had to say about it. Like, dog, I'm happy you're finally retiring. Like, it's about time. You gotta go, man. You've been blocking my blessings. Every time I meet up with you, like, you know how many other team accolades or how many other times we could have made it further in the playoffs if it wasn't for you and those Boston Celtics, but single-handedly you stopping me, that was real praise. Because for Jordan to say that, being that top guy, being the arrogant person he is, he showed praise and he let us know how great Larry Bird was. So this was definitely a sensational video. I love these type of stories, bro. If y'all want to see more of these type of videos, we're gonna be locked in. Let me know which one is the next one we should be checking out in the comments, man. He definitely was on a top tier level that I don't think anybody can touch, especially from I think that was 85, 86, and 87, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but the 3 years that he won the NBA MVP consecutively, that year, nobody in the world could mess with him. I don't care who we talk about, Jordan, whoever. His skills that year, he was top tier with those years. That 3-year run, he was the best basketball player on the planet, and nobody could take that from him, even with all the sensational players in the league. So that speaks volumes. And winning it 3 times back-to-back speaks volumes to how great he was for that extended period of time. So nobody could touch him. But I appreciate you guys rocking with me. This was a great video. And if you made it all the way through the video, you the real MVP. I appreciate you. Do me 2 favors. Like the video. By liking the video, the way the YouTube algorithm works, YouTube will push the video out to more people and you'll be directly helping me. But also subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get the hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Everyone's subscriber count. So if everybody that watched the video subscribe to the channel, we'll be at hundreds of thousands of subscribers very soon. We're going to do great things. I'm trying to be consistent. I'm going to be in y'all face all year. So please show some support. Join the family. I hope you know what it is. I'm out your dick.